Early in my career, I worked for Thomasville Furniture as an industrial engineer at their corporate center in Thomasville, North Carolina. One of my main responsibilities was to support the veneering operations. So I spent most of my days in the operation getting to know the people and the processes that made the beautiful veneers that were placed on furniture. A few years into my career, we decided to build a new factory that was going to be a modern veneer plant compared to the one that we had previously. Now, we were replacing a 4-story plant with a single story, and we were going to try to store everything in a much more convenient way, and that was my responsibility. I was responsible to build a storage and retrieval system for the veneer blocks. And the veneer blocks were these pieces of wood that were put in presses to bend the plywood into shapes for things such as chair rails or canopies for beds. Now, it turns out at the old plant, these blocks weighed anywhere from 40 pounds a pair to all the way up to 400 pounds for a bed canopy. And they were stored all over the plant. And they were pretty difficult to find. And when you needed them, it would take anywhere from 2 to 4 people to go find them and then carry them physically to the press that was going to use them. Now, this didn't seem very safe or very convenient. So I got approval to purchase a rack system for all the blocks that I had a certain amount of space for in the new plant. Now, originally, because I was pretty new to all of this, I was going to design the rack system so that any block could be placed in any location in the rack. But what happened was, if I had designed it for the largest block, which I said weighed 400 pounds, it was huge. I would have needed 5 times the floor space unless I did something differently. So what I realized was I shouldn't design for the largest thing because there was only one of those. What I needed to do was design just a special rack location for that largest block. Instead of wire decking for that rack, I wanted to make it a lot easier to slide it in and out, so we created roller decking. Now, that made it easy to remove, but we had to create a simpler, safer way to transport those blocks to the new presses in the new plant. So, with the help of a material handling vendor, we designed this special cart. You could roll the cart up to the racking shelf, take a stop and drop it down to the level of the shelf, slide the block onto the cart, and then slide the stop back up to keep the block from sliding off when moving the cart to the press. What was nice for this is that one person could safely handle every single block except for the largest bed canopy block. For that, we required 2 people. And so what we were able to do was reduce the amount of time, effort, and safety risk for moving blocks into and out of the press. But what I also learned was before you just design for everything, you should understand the full problem before you're trying to solve it. And one size does not fit all. I hope this story provided you with some inspiration to revisit your own processes. I have a lot more I'd like to share. Head over to pi-partners.com to learn how I can help. And check back from time to time for more Kaizen stories.